Hey guys, quick update for upcoming playthroughs. So obviously The Last of Us Part 2 is releasing next week and I'm really excited. I'm extremely nervous as well, but I'm really excited to start that. First episode should go up on Saturday. So we're going to jump straight into that. I'm really excited for that. I'm going to be uploading that every day. I'm not going to be playing anything else alongside it. So, let me know how excited you are for The Last of Us Part 2. I've avoided all the spoilers, the leaks, and all that nonsense. I don't know anything besides the trailers that I originally watched last year. So, yeah, let me know how excited you are for The Last of Us. I'm kind of building myself up for this because I feel like I'm ready for a bit of a darker, grounded experience. I've been playing a lot of kind of JRPG Japanese games, and while they've all had Nier and Death Stranding and Final Fantasy VII all have mature themes to them, they still have that. They were all kind of sci-fi-ish cyber. Well, I know Final Fantasy VII has more of a cyberpunk aesthetic, but they're more futuristic style games. Whereas The Last of Us is a bit, muddy, gritty, bit more ground level. So yeah, I'm really ready for that kind of experience. I don't know, I'm anticipating a dark, sad, angry, miserable experience. So I'm kind of ready for that. So yeah, that's coming up next. After that, next month, hopefully, I'll be starting Ghost of Tsushima. I'm really excited for that. I'm getting the kind of Sekiro vibes from that. So depending on how long The Last of Us Part 2 goes on for, I'll hopefully be able to play Metro Last Light Redux in between The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima. I've been meaning to play Last Light for ages. It's been a while since I played 2033. So yeah, really excited for that. I've just started reading the books. Whether I've finished all three by the time I get round to it, I'm not sure. But I've started reading the books, which will really immerse me. And I'm kind of building up to playing Metro Exodus, which is what I'm really excited for because I think that's a bit bigger in scope, because it's a bit more kind of semi-open world. And the other thing I'm going to be doing, sort of in preparation for Ghost of Tsushima, I actually found on an external hard drive. I actually found most of my Sekiro playthrough because I've got half of it on my PC, and I found the first half of all the episodes on an old external. So what I'm going to be able to do, I'm going to be able to re-render those, and what I'm planning on doing, I'm going to have to slowly edit and re-render and do some intros for them, but I'll be able to upload them again in good quality, and I'm just going to have them all go up on like a weekend. I'm not going to, not like I did with A Plague Tale, I'm not going to upload them over a few weeks. I'm just going to, like, one weekend. I'm thinking like the week before Ghost of Tsushima comes out, we'll stick with that kind of samurai theme, Shinobi theme, and I'll maybe just dump the whole like 40 episode series on that weekend. I'll have to be uploading in secret a lot, but I'm actually really excited for that because I had a look at a few of the early episodes, and obviously, the main reason I took those down was because the audio quality wasn't great. My rendering was I didn't know what I was doing with the editing programs. Whereas now I think I'll be able to put it up in a bit better quality, and the audio will still be the same because I wasn't recording in separate channels. But it's actually not as bad as I remembered. It's just the mic quality isn't great, but the levels weren't as bad as I remembered, and I'll be able to publish them properly, make proper thumbnails, and yeah. And I just forgot how good that game was. That really was just the best. I think it was the best game that released last year. Not that I played last year, but the best game that released last year. It was just amazing. So yeah, that should go up before Ghost of Tsushima. Witcher 3 playthrough, it's over, guys. There's no one's watching it. I'm just beating a dead horse at this point. It was a bit of a passion project, but you've got to know when to throw the towel in with these kind of things. So yeah, that's over, unless, all of a sudden there's a massive demand for it. But, I don't want to sour my enjoyment of the game. Nothing could sour my enjoyment of that game, but that's just the way it goes. Not everything works. You've got to know when to stop. So yeah, Ghost of Tsushima looks great. Then after that, I'll be able to get back to some indie games. So I've got on my what I'm really thinking. I'm thinking Return of the Obra Dinn, Oxenfree, and Draugen. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. Those are the 3 games I've got on my radar after that. And then way in the future, we've got Cyberpunk, a few months in the future. It's not that far off now. I don't think I'm going to play Cyberpunk 2077 at release. I don't think I'm going to play it at release. I feel like it might be a bit buggy at release, just like The Witcher 3 was. And I also want to play it with some mods because I feel like there'll be a third person mod that the community makes pretty quick. So I'd like to have the option of using a third person mod just for cinematic stuff and getting, being able to see the city and characters and stuff. And, everyone and their mother's going to be playing that game at release. So I feel like waiting maybe a month after release for Cyberpunk, then starting it is probably the best way to go. And obviously, I've not been uploading for a couple of weeks after we finished Final Fantasy VII. I did have plans for stuff, what I was going to do. I was going to make some videos on hard mode, just playing through all the bosses and getting all the extra stuff on hard mode in Final Fantasy VII. And I started recording, but you can't select specific points in the chapter. You have to replay the whole chapter from the beginning to get to the points, unless I've gone on the wrong menu or something. So, and that's a real slog going through all those sections again. I forgot how much time wasting there is in all the various points early in the game. But I was still going to do it because, the combat is so good in that game. But then I Googled how to get all the summons because I didn't know how many were in the game. I've been playing blind because it was like New Game Plus. I figured I'd look stuff up. It turns out 3 of the summons are locked out of the base edition of the game and are hidden behind deluxe editions and pre-order bonuses. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of flipped out when I read it, and I stopped playing the game, and I'm not gonna play it again because Square Enix have locked important content behind paywalls. And I knew that they'd pull something like this because that's just the kind of company they are now. But that's kind of the nail in the coffin with me in Square Enix now. I'm not playing the sequels to Final Fantasy VII Remake. It was already a mixed experience, but that's just, and I've always known that kind of company. I was giving them a chance. Maybe my nostalgia got the better of me. I was on the fence about playing it. From everything that I'd seen, I felt like they were really taking it seriously, and I don't know if they did. They've recreated important bits well, but yeah. So I felt a bit upset about not enjoying the remake as much as I'd hoped because the Final Fantasy games were such an important part of me growing up. And I know people don't necessarily like hearing negative things because some people really love the remake, but honestly, it's I'm just done with Square Enix. But what the positive I'm taking from it is it's inspired me to maybe go back and look at playing some of the classic JRPGs that I never played. So we all have those kind of games on our wish list that are regarded as like classics, about like genre defining games that we maybe never played. There's just like maybe we just missed it. Maybe it's not our kind of game or our genre. I kind of missed The Last of Us, and I finally got around to playing it last year. And maybe I've never played Half-Life. That's a guilty admission. And the other one that I've never played is Chrono Trigger, regarded by a lot of people as the best JRPG of all time, above all Final Fantasies, above anything else. And yeah, I'd love to play that. Please let me know, guys. Is it a game you've played? Is it a game you played in your childhood? Maybe you played it when you were a bit older. I think it's, from doing a light bit of research, I think it's around 20 to 30 hours. It's not massive. So I thought that's a really plausible game, and it would, I think that would be a nicer experience than ever playing another Square Enix developed JRPG, which I'm never going to do. I'm not making this mistake again. But yeah, and if that potentially goes well in the future, I'd definitely be up for playing Chrono Cross as well, the kind of pseudo sequel to Chrono Trigger, and maybe playing Xenogears, a game that I actually have played before though. I just didn't quite finish it because I got upset when I realized the final part of the game was unfinished and they kind of rushed it, and I just didn't bother, which was probably a bit ill-tempered of me, but I guess that's just my personality, isn't it? So yeah, I'd be excited to do a blind playthrough of Chrono Trigger. Let me know if you've played that as well. So yeah, that's what's coming up, guys. Last of Us Part 2, Metro Last Light, re-upload of Sekiro, but not a long one, just over a couple of days. I'll dump all the videos. Ghost of Tsushima, Return of the Obra Dinn, Chrono Trigger, and Cyberpunk 2077 will be a bit after release, because I feel like after a few patches, I think the game's going to be better. So yeah, hopefully you'll join me for Last of Us Part 2, guys. I will see you there. Never trust a non-crate.